department is very well named. It's the Department of Justice, and the fundamental goal of this department is to bring justice in all of its forms to this country.
Our only responsibility is to do the right thing. We're not obligated to win every case. If that's not consistent with this notion of doing the right thing, of doing justice.
This is my 6th tour, and I have found in every single stint what I like most about the department is that I wake up every day saying to myself, my job is to do the right thing. Just do the right thing every day and do what I can to protect the public. And I see that in virtually everyone who works here.
There's a lot to do and a lot to stay on top of, so it's a very challenging job. I think that what makes it challenging is the breadth of responsibilities that this department has, and trying to make sure that we're doing the job and doing the job right. To make sure that we're enforcing the criminal law, but we're respecting people's rights.
The Attorney General is certainly the nation's chief law enforcement officer, and that means an awful lot of things. There are a number of consequential threats to the United States that I have to deal with.
Don't move!
The national security side is the most obvious and the most pressing. We identify those that are serious threats and we monitor them, disrupt them, and to the extent we can ultimately destroy them.
We face the specter of international organized crime groups that come from far around the world, almost any country of the world, that are working to potentially to disrupt and to subvert our economic system, that may be involved in smuggling drugs or smuggling people across our national borders, exploiting people, causing potentially grave harm to our to the American people.
There are public corruption matters that are of concern to us, financial markets that we have to help regulate. There's a huge civil division, we have an antitrust division, an environmental natural resources division. Huge numbers of responsibilities for the over 110,000 people who make up the Justice Department.
Crime, when it's not checked, when there isn't enough law enforcement, can destroy the fabric of a society. It can make it impossible to have economic development, can make it difficult for children to thrive and to have the proper kind of education, and for families to be healthy and happy. So whether it's white-collar crime, gangs, civil rights violations, antitrust violations, environmental crimes, tax fraud, there's a whole range of threats that this department is responsible to address, and we work hard every day to do that.
In all of the missions, I think of the role as protecting the public, whether it's protecting the public from being preyed upon by mortgage lenders who are seeking to defraud people, but also putting police officers on the street trying to work to end domestic violence. Now, today's settlement is an example of the department's ongoing and intensive efforts to protect the public fisc and recover funds for the federal treasury from those who seek to profit from fraud. It's critically important for us to get the message out that if you engage in this kind of conduct, if you commit fraud, you're going to be caught and the penalties will be severe.
Every day is different. The challenges of every day are in some ways unique. And my responsibility as Attorney General is to make sure that this department is equipped to handle the new challenges that it faces in the 21st century.
Your duty is to the American people, and your duty is to the law, and we think about that every day.
When American generations look back now on the work that we will do, let us strive to ensure that they will say that we kept the faith and that we made a superb Justice Department even greater. I thank you very much, my friends, and I look forward to working with all of you.